Alright, so I'm going to be looking at gold in this video, just going to do a quick little update of what we saw last week and what we can kind of expect going into this coming week. So last week, we really kind of struggled. We're looking at this right here. Every time that we came up to this 1427 mark, which we have marked as a resistance from the past. Every time we hit it this week, we just kind of sold off, and eventually we sold all the way down to this 1415 mark, this bigger support line that I have in here. Now we've popped. Sunday evening, the futures are open. Now we have popped. We're up here at 1432, and the big question that we're going to want to see is will this hold going into Monday morning as the trading day begins, and throughout the trading day? Will this hold, or will it get sold off like we saw all last week? I'll go ahead and show you the hourly chart, show you what I'm talking about here. So here was last week's, this last Monday. You can see we opened, basically at the highs of the day, right around here, around 1427 to 1430, and then we sold off into the close and after hours. Tuesday we rallied all the way back up and then sold back down into the close. Wednesday, again, we rallied up, came back down a little bit, held it through Thursday morning. And then Thursday we popped above, but we could not hold, sold back down, and Friday we were just kind of lingering down below. But now here we are Sunday, and we've gapped up quite a bit, but here we are sitting at the highs from Thursday, right in here around 1430 to 1434. So what I'd like to see is us, gradually move upward to continue this little pop that we have. Break through the little resistance that we have here, a little bit of resistance in here as well, and to move higher and to come up and test this 1440 mark. I think that would be a good sign here on gold. But in the opposite case, let's say, we were to sell back down, if we could not hold this little pop, we would want to see it now hold the 1427 mark. If we were to break through that and continue lower, this would basically be a false break. Everybody who, maybe got in down here is now taking their profits, and it's moving us down, and we might see the 1415 price tested again. But we just need to look to see what this does. If it slowly gains some momentum and we move up and maybe test this 1440 mark, it might take a couple tries to get through 1440 and hold above it. But we'll just have to wait and see. So I'm going to go back here to the 4-hour chart, move it in a little bit closer for you guys. So again, you can see the levels here. So here's our 1427, here's our 1440, and here's our 1415. So again, I would like to see it gradually move upward and test this 1440. If we can successfully hold above 1440, I think we might be heading up and maybe potentially making a new high. But there's a lot of things that could happen. The FOMC is meeting this week, so that'll definitely be something to pay attention to on Wednesday, the 31st. We want to get a solid understanding of gold and what it's been doing here in the past week to 2 weeks, or looking at this whole say past month to month and a half. I think that is very important with getting an understanding of where gold may have support and where the resistance is going to be moving throughout this week. But again, let's see if we can move upward and break through 1440, or if we will hold the 1427 mark. And one last thing before I close this out, I do want to mention, as I mentioned in almost all of these gold videos, is that we are overbought on weekly here on gold, and now we have been overbought for a good period of time, almost 2 months now, ever since we had this initial run up. And the reason I mention that is because every time we do have this overbought signal here on gold, we tend to have a sharp break downward. But sometimes it can last for a few months. You can see this was basically from, say, mid-July of 2012 and lasted all the way through mid-September of 2012. Other times it can be shorter. You can see we've already been hanging here for 2 months. So it could be soon, it could be longer. You never know. But I just want to point that out, is that we are overbought, and every time that we are overbought here on gold, we do seem to eventually have a downturn. But as long as we're in a bull market for gold, it seems as if we usually move back up. But I just want to point that out and make that apparent if you guys haven't seen that before. So thank you guys for watching, and hopefully this helped you out. Thanks. Bye.